Welcome to the Jointery podcast, a podcast where we study the lives of study the lives of two dads trying to find the balance between the families, hobbies and work. This week on the Jointery, we discover...
I go hard on Girl Scout cookies, bro. I source from both coasts.
Let's search for the meaning of life as it had never been witnessed before. The Jointery podcast.
The Jointery podcast.
Yeah. All right. Sounds like we're good to go.
Yes. So
welcome in.
Hey. Wow. Zencaster.
Yeah, Zencaster. We're on a new platform this week, guys. We're checking it out, see how it works out for us.
This is totally gonna work.
Yeah.
It's cool though. It looks like it's got some extra toys to it. So
yeah, it looks like it's got some extra features. Your video does not look great, but we'll figure that out.
Well, neither does yours.
Yeah.
So I think it's because I'm in the garage. It could be because I'm in the garage. It says I have full Wi-Fi support here. In terms of bars, I don't know how to judge it otherwise. But
all right.
Yeah.
So why are you in the garage? I know you're usually Luke in the garage, but not when we do podcasts. So why are you in the garage today?
Because I'm 3D printing my Maker Collab project, and the printer's loud. So like it's either be in the garage where it's silent, or be in my office where I'm clearly more comfortable. And in that situation, it's just gonna have a blowing sound in the background the entire time. So
Yeah.
But I'm in the garage, and it's cool. I got the fish tank stand behind me, so
yeah,
that's cool.
I see that. How'd the staining go?
Yeah, it went fine. I don't know. It went okay. It's we brushed it on, so like there's some drips in some spots, and it's it's fine. Ultimately it's gonna look great. And I just haven't done that kind of stuff before. So it's fine. But last night there was chaos in the shop for about 10 minutes.
I was gonna say, because you had your buddy over last night, right? You had to finish it up?
Yeah, but he wasn't the source of the chaos. The chaos was I have these cheap ass lights in my shop, right? And they work great. They work fine, right? But I totally cheaped out on the lights. So if you're listening to this and you've got a relationship with a light sponsor, hit your boy up. What happened is that I was goofing around. I know that's a shocker. And I was moving something and I hit one of my lights with what I was moving, and it made a popping sound, and then it fried part of my light, and then all the lights in my shop went out.
Damn.
Yeah, and this was like we had the stain mixed up, and we were ready to go, and I'm just like,
of course,
and I just banged this thing, and it goes pop, and I could smell the electricity burning, and it's like my setup is so janky for my lights that I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to find the weak point, because there's so many weak points. It's really a crappy setup, and I even looking at it now, and I'm like, I'm just so glad I have not lit my garage on fire at this point.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a rough setup. So I'm in the garage. I got the fish tank thing behind me. He's coming back today. We're gonna hopefully finish it up is in terms of what we got to do, and then we'll be good to go. So,
yeah, because that thing's killing your production in your shop right now, right? Because you haven't really been doing much else except for that this last week. So it'd be nice to get that out of there.
It's straight up murdering my production. Yeah, because the problem is that I could be CNCing when he's here, but we have so much fun in the shop that I'm like, look, it's been a lot of fun. It's been exciting to have anybody else in the shop.
Yeah.
He was asking me yesterday. He's like, "Oh, do you, can I do this? Can I do that?" I was like, "Bro, you could do whatever you want to do." I'm like, I'm usually in here by myself, talking to myself. It's really a nice experience to have somebody else in the shop other than myself. So it's fine, But I keep looking around like something's gonna happen while I'm out here. So it's will these lights explode while I'm sitting here? Like that would make great content. But
oh Jesus,
I don't know how old my fire extinguisher is in the shop. How old's you have a fire extinguisher, right?
That is so funny that you brought that up because my brother mentioned to me this week. He's like, you know what nobody ever talks about?
What?
I watch a ton of YouTube, a ton of Instagram. All you woodworkers, all you people, all you metal workers and everything. Nobody ever talks about shop safety. Nobody ever talks about, hey, you got fire extinguishers ready to go, or what do you do in case of an emergency? What's the best solution to these types of things? So I thought that was interesting. I thought that's kind of true though. We never really talk about shop safety. Nobody's putting out videos of like how to prevent this stuff, or how to what if this happened, what would you do, kind of thing.
I'd run for my life. But to be real with you, look, we're not going to be the ones talking about shop safety. That is not going to happen. Tell your brother to look up Katz Moses. I mean, you want to talk shop safety? He has kind of dedicated himself to not killing yourself. So
yeah, I know. It's just funny. I just think I just thought that was interesting. I was like, yeah, you're right. Nobody ever does talk about that type of stuff.
And we will continue that trend right here. Okay.
No, but I don't know. I have 2 fire extinguishers in my shop, but I think I bought them over a year ago. So I don't know what the date. I think you have to replace them every year, every 2 years. I don't
know. And I don't even remember when I bought mine. So it's fine.
Yeah. I just hope that someday I won't ever have to reach for it and find out if it still works.
Yeah, it's like you have to reach for it. It's like, well, that probably should have read that label before I burnt down my shop.
Dude, about 6-7 months ago, I was using my branding iron, and I have my branding iron set up on a brick. I have mounted a brick to the wall on like a little stand, and that's where when I done with my branding iron, I set it right there on the brick to let it cool off. And I wasn't being lazy, or I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing one time, and I did the brand, and then I set it down. And when I came out the next day, I had forgotten to unplug it. And I had left it sitting up against the wall, like against the plywood wall, and there's a big black mark on the wall next to it. It just obviously super lucky that it just didn't get hot enough to light it on fire. But man, it was definitely close.
Is that the closest you've come to burning your shop down?
That's probably the closest I've ever come to burning it down. I had the laser kind of lock up on me one time and burn in the same spot for a good 10 minutes, and that created a big nice smoke plume of smoke and whatnot, but it didn't actually light. It didn't actually burn, so that was nice.
First sign your laser's not working. Your garage is on fire.
I learned quickly that you can't leave your laser unattended.
I don't know, man. People tell me, and I should not say this when I'm in earshot of my CNC, but people tell me all the time, like, you should not leave your CNC. I'm more nervous about leaving my 3D printer unattended than I am leaving my CNC unattended. So,
well, I'd be worried
it's probably not right, but
no, I'd be worried about your CNC, especially because it's fucking evil. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be worried that it's trying to take over your fucking whole shop and walk in and you're gonna get attacked by your tools.
Well, fortunately for me, the evilness of my CNC is that it has no patience. So typically, when it's about to do some horrible shit, it does it like right away. It's like, it's not gonna like wait around to fuck up. It's like, no, we're gonna get right to fucking up. It's like, hey, you like this piece that you spent 2 days milling? Like, here we go. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch! Like,
did your hand hover over the stop button for the first 5 minutes or not?
No, and the worst part is that I keep that stop button where it's not easily. You have to like reach under something and then over something to get to the stop button. So like when I do in the times when I do have to hit the e-brake, I'm just like, oh shit, and I'll punch my head against the computer, and then I'll like dip underneath, and I'll like have to go under some wires, and I'll like slap the button, and then I'm like, it's always like I probably could have used it, got it to it like a 2 seconds quicker. So
yeah, you need to wire that thing up to a big red button on the outside of your somewhere that is easily accessible. Maybe hook it up to a punching bag, so when you get really mad, you can just punch it.
no, what it needs to be is it hooked up to a heart monitor. So if my heart beats like 500 beats per minute, it's like, oh shit, stop the CNC. He's gonna cry.
Yeah, definitely. I do like the punching bag idea though. I think that'd be kind of clever. You know what I mean? Like you get so angry, you get so angry that you like those punching machines. You know the ones that like you have at bars and stuff where you like it tests how hard you can hit. That's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing like one of those speed bags hooked to an arm that you punch and it just kills the machine.
I love those games at bars, and the punching one is definitely a lot of fun. But I love it when drunk people get up there and they just like wail into it, and it's like they throw their shoulder out. You know, they're just like, I'm so drunk. You know, it's like, damn. It's like, you know, I don't know,
dude. I'm a big guy, and it takes a it. I mean, even with punching as hard as I can, there's no way I'm coming close to like the record on those machines. Like some of those guys, and I've seen some of the smallest guys punch the hardest. It's all about technique, man. It's not. I literally will run from across the room, take a running because we used to have one of these at the radio station I worked at. So I would take turn. We had it in our lobby of our radio station. So we'd like all get out there and like try and beat the record, and I would like take a running start from across the room and try and lay into it, and it's less about that and more about technique. I found out, and some of these guys are just like amazing. These little
like the
guys,
Happy
man.
Gilmore of bag punching. You're like lining up, running like. Wow! I got it,
dude. The worst part is when you miss. You run full speed, and you go to swing at it, and you miss, and you just kind of like topple over. God!
What's your
man.
go-to bar game? Like if we're at a bar, right, and there was a bunch of bar games there, and we're like, hey, let's play for drinks, right? Which one are you picking?
I love shuffleboard. I'm a shuffleboard guy. Like, and not like shuffleboard that's on the ground like the old people play. I'm talking about the bar version. You know what I'm talking about? Like with the sand.
The hockey puck.
The hockey puck, exactly. I love that game. But my favorite bar game, and it's because I worked at a bar for like 3 or 4 years. We had Golden Tee, the golf game. Dude. Yeah. Hours and hours.
When you could get that like hook shot in and like you just flex on your friends.
Oh yeah, dude, the fade, you get that fade going right up and over. Yeah, no, we spent many, many hours and a lot of money playing Golden Tee, man. That's the game, dude. If I could get that game in my shop, oh, bro, that would just be epic.
That'd be a horrible idea, dude. Like, I honestly like we get nothing done. It's like, hey, it's like as it is right now. I'm in the shop with the podcast, and it's like, it's like I would get nothing done. Like,
no, I know, but that
I can't make this too much of a hangout spot.
No, I would love that Golden Tee. Anybody out there got their hands on a Golden Tee where they can shoot me in that direction? Let me know, because I'd love to pick me up one of those.
I think Wix Woodworks has one.
Dude, Wix Woodworks. How funny you brought him up, dude. Because I was gonna wait till the end. He was my shout out this week. But since we're talking about him real quick. I wanted to talk about
it. Out of sorts this week, dude. Like as always, I'm barely keeping it together.
That's all good, dude.
It's like you hear that audio. It's like I'm gonna cosplay as a person. I got their shit together. I'm like, whoa! Like look at that. Like how do you know? Like,
quickly, just because you brought him up, and I'm gonna shout him out at the end, anyways. But he brought up something interesting this week that I was gonna ask you about. He put out a post yesterday or the day before talking about scrolling, and basically it was like keep scrolling, stop trolling, in a sense, right? That was basically what he was talking about, and he said he's going to create a shirt.
Scrolling, stop trolling.
Keep scrolling, stop trolling. So it's like on Instagram, okay. You know what I mean? Like these people like who take the time out of their day, or Instagram, YouTube, anything like that, take the time out of their day to comment negatively on people's posts and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like who really has takes the time and effort to go out of their way. And he, I just thought that was an interesting topic, because like that is something that we all deal with on a daily basis. But like, who do you ever? I mean, have you ever? Do you ever take the time to go out of your way to make a comment like, "Oh, this, you could have done this better," or "Yeah, there's a better way to do this." You know what I mean? Do you
I
ever take the
mean,
time to do that?
I'm way more creative when I troll people. So no, it's never like me correcting their technique. I'm always like what did I say to like Bow, Bow,
Yeah, I know Bow Designs
sure.
or
Yeah, Bow
whatever.
Designs. I love that guy.
He's
Like I
awesome.
trolled him today. I love trolling him because he's like always like very, he's a little bit serious in his stuff, and I know he's not really like that,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
always he's very professional in stuff. So like he did a video today that was like a hinge jig, and like he was like talking about how whatever, I didn't even read the description, and
Of course.
I just like leave stupid comments like, it all really hinged on that operation right there, huh?
Yeah, but see, you're
It's
not. That's not trolling, in my opinion. That's you being. That's just you, having clever banter with people. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily trolling.
I don't know. I wish more people would troll me though.
Yeah, I don't see. That's the thing is, I don't get a lot of trolls, and maybe it's I'm not putting out stuff that's too controversial or anything like that. But I hear about it all the time. I hear about people, getting trolled and people, having people talk shit and correct them or why would you do that kind of thing or and I
Yeah.
don't know, man. It just seems like such a like. What do you get out of that? What do you get out of trolling somebody? I mean, you really think they're going to turn around and take your advice and start doing something differently just because of the one comment you made? I don't know. It's just
I mean,
it's
if
interesting.
I knew, I would put it out there and I'd change all my content to troll bait. I mean, honestly, I'd be like, come on, guys. Like I got some of it on when I post on Reddit. There's a lot of trolls on Reddit
Oh, okay.
because people on Reddit typically feel like they're better than everyone else. Especially like, oh man, like anytime I post on like the X-Carve forum, oh, those are the worst trolls. So I do deliberately post on there because I like seeing those, and it's sometimes on TikTok occasionally, but
Yeah.
rarely on Insta. I think because I
I've
think
never
everybody
been.
who comments on my shit, I got a personal relationship at this point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I never even been on Reddit. I don't think. I think I might have gone on it once. But I know there's a lot of negativity, and I hear that a lot from people. Like that's a lot of negativity breeds over there.
I mean, Reddit is a magical place, and when you figure it out, like say goodbye to your free time for a while. Like it is an incredible. I think it's called the front page of the internet or some shit like that. But yeah, dude, like you get on Reddit and it's like bye bye free time.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's crazy.
I had to cut down my Reddit stuff just because like I'd fine tuned my like with Reddit, right? You don't really get as much of like what Instagram's just constantly shoving new shit in your face, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Reddit does a good job of like limiting what you see to the subreddits that you follow, right?
Is that
At
how?
least
So that's how it works. You follow different subreddits, and I mean, when you
yeah,
go on Reddit, are you just going onto a homepage and there's just a bunch of stories, or are you going to like somewhere
yeah,
where you have curated content like
I,
shot to
yeah,
you?
yeah. It's so like think about it like this. Like Reddit is kind of place like where you would follow woodworking, right?
Uh huh.
And then
Uh
there's
huh.
like beginning woodworking, and a lot of people post woodworking stuff in those posts. So it's better organized. Like with Instagram, they kind of figure out your algorithm, and like most of the crap I see is woodworking stuff at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but with Reddit, like I got a food one and I got a comic book one and I got a whole like a bunch of like well my favorites are like hold my beer and then hold my Red Bull, hold my Cosmo, and hold my juice box, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All of those are great because they're just like videos of like people doing really dumb shit.
Oh, okay.
Um yeah, so like, I'll go on there for that and so like I typically go on Reddit when I'm like I feel like I've scrolled Instagram too much and like I'm just seeing the same stuff over and
Yep.
over
Yep.
again
Yep. Yep.
and I'm like every other video has the same audio and I'm just like God I get bored and I'm like all right let me go do some other things on my
Yeah.
phone. So
That happens a lot to me,
heaven
man.
forbid I
Like that's
turn to my wife and start talking to her. No.
No. You wouldn't want to do that. That happens a lot though on Instagram, man. I'm starting to get tired of the same audio over and over again. You know what I mean? It's almost like I'd rather watch the reels with the sound off. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, dude, everybody's using the same goddamn audio over and over again.
Yeah, I think Instagram would be cool if I had more control over what I see.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's one of the beauty things about Reddit. Is you get a lot of control over that type of stuff. You still see ads and other stuff, but I don't know.
But it seems like it's more. It seems like it's more things that you want to follow, right? More you get to pick what your interests are, and you see those types of things.
Yeah, and then like they'll make recommendations like, "Hey, you might be interested in this other ridiculous shit," and I'm usually like, "Yeah, you're probably right." And I do go to Reddit oddly for news, but generally speaking, I've curated quite the awesome Reddit feed to where it's really like everything I see is mostly.
Can you share your feed? Like, can I sign up to see Luke's feed on Reddit? Is that something that? I don't know. I was just curious.
I can look into it. I can look into it.
Yeah, I was just curious how it worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just pause the whole podcast. Let's do this right now.
That's too funny.
Dude, so okay, let's stop talking about this. I got something exciting to tell you.
Okay,
it's very exciting, dude. Because like with all the supply chain issues that we've been having, I finally got a package that I've been waiting on for quite some time, and I am thrilled. It is my Girl Scout cookies. Oh my
Jesus.
God, dude!
Yeah, man, that's an important thing to talk about.
My one of my daughter's friends' moms had hit us up that the younger girl was selling Girl Scout cookies. It was funny. Jackie went on there. We both got the same message, but we didn't talk about it, right? So Jackie went on there and said, "Hey, I'm going to order $50 for the cookies," and then she apparently an option is that you could just donate those to other people. And I'm like why? I don't know why she did that, but thank God I went on there and also placed my own order of $50 worth of cookies. But all of those cookies are at my house now.
So wait, that sounds like catch and release for me. Like you go fishing.
Yeah.
She basically ordered $50 worth of cookies and then gave them away. That's like that's like torture. I don't even understand what the point of that is.
I mean, I'm not going to leave her right for this. It's not.
That's a serious offense, though. I mean, let's be real.
I mean, but I was so excited because I made a little sample platter of all the cookies I got yesterday, except for the only one I didn't include was the Thin Mints because I feel those need to be frozen.
I was gonna get into that with you to ask you how you eat your Thin Mints because I saw the story with I loved how you shot it too because you shot it from above, right? So you see the boxes. And there was I think 5 or 6 boxes, right?
There was 5. There was 5.
5, each one 7. And then when you pan down, though, you see that it's double stacked.
Oh yeah, dude!
I'm like, oh damn! He went in. He got 5 boxes of cookies, dude. He was serious. And then you pan down. I'm like, holy shit! 10 boxes? What the?
Oh yeah, dude! My wife is really big on you can't buy things that they don't have a home in the house, right? And
that's interesting.
I had to rearrange a whole shelf on my pantry to fit all those boxes in there. So she's never gonna find the pasta again. I'm just telling you now. Fuck that pasta. My cookies got to go at eyesight. I don't want to mess around with my Girl Scout cookies, man. And the funny thing is their cookies generally are pretty good. I wouldn't say they're the best cookies in the world, but I'm still going to eat all of them.
What's your favorite? Because you got all of them. You had the tagalongs, you had the mimosas, you had the, I don't even know if they're all the same names. I'm going by the California names because I know there's 2 different makers.
Really?
Yeah, there's an East Coast. Yeah, dude, don't get me started. There's an East Coast baker and a West Coast baker for Girl Scout cookies, right? That's why when you guys get your East Coast ones, you guys have. I was watching them as you went by, and your lemon ones are called Lemon Ups.
Yeah,
right?
Lemon Up. Is that what they're called in California?
No, we have the lemonades out here, which are far superior to the Lemon Ups. And I can tell you that only because my niece is in Michigan and she's a Girl Scout and she does this whole she's like does a video and like anyway, she kills it.
Hold up, you're sourcing Girl Scout cookies from both coasts of the country?
Don't you know me? Come on, dude.
Wait, does Penny sell Girl Scout cookies? I need some West Coast cookies, man. I could double my order right now. Send me another 10 boxes, bro.
Dude, I go hard on Girl Scout cookies, bro. I source from both coasts, and I'll tell you though what the East Coast cookies are good, right? Except the lemonades. The lemonades are far superior. Those are the West Coast versions, and because we have the icing on the bottom of the cookie.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, dude. The icing comes on the bottom.
I don't
of the
even
cookie.
know if mine have icing on them.
They don't. They don't. Yeah,
I
man.
didn't realize icing was an option. Because I love those shortbread cookies with the icing on top.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to source some West Coast. You got to source some West Coast Girl Scout cookies.
Hey,
man.
if anybody has Girl Scout cookies on the West Coast, DM me on Instagram, and I guarantee you I'll place an order if you're the first person to hit me up. So I'm definitely getting some lemons because I got Thin Mints, tagalongs, samosas.
Yeah.
Samosas are I really like those because I like coconut.
Those are the coconut ones, right?
Yeah, samosas.
Yeah.
I got the lemon ones, and then I got s'mores, which s'mores was my new flavor this year.
Yeah, I've never done the s'mores. We usually go Thin Mint, tagalong, and then the lemonades. Those are the three that we usually get.
But do you get like 3 of each, or I mean?
Yeah, for sure. 2 boxes, at least two. It lost at least 2 boxes of each. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Thin Mints straight into the freezer. That's the only way to eat them. I don't care. You guys can argue with me all day long. You're wrong unless you put them in the freezer. That's the only way to eat them.
I mean, I'd like to disagree with you and debate topics all the time, anyways. But you're right on this one.
Yeah, this one is inarguable, as they say.
Do you like to put candy bars in the freezer?
Yeah, I like chocolate. I like candy. I like chocolate cold. You know what I mean? Like like I told you, my
M&M refrigerated or frozen.
No, like refrigerated. You know what I mean? Like I put my chocolate chips. I told you in the butter thing. So in the butter thing.
Dude, like look, you can tell me all kinds of shit. Like I'll forget like a kid's name or something like that. But if you tell me that there's chocolate chips behind the butter in the fridge, like when I come over, like I guarantee you, like I'm gonna be like, hey man, I'm gonna go get a drink out of the fridge, and it's like I'm gonna come back with a bag of chocolate chips and a beer. You know,
dude. I'm almost out too. I went to grab them last night, and I'm like, oh, they're a lot lighter than they should be. That bag needs to be refilled.
No wonder I can't find my bong.
Oh Jesus, dude.
Yeah, you know what? So like I used to like to freeze like Snickers. You know, I thought that was good. I don't know why, like you would break your friggin' teeth eating those things. But my grandmother used to also freeze. She liked to eat frozen grapes.
I've heard people do that. I've never done that personally, but I've heard of that.
It's tasty.
Yeah, the first time I mean,
for chocolate, but it's tasty.
Definitely no substitute for chocolate. Oh, that's silly. So hey, quick question for you. I was talking to Debbie about this week, and we were talking about because I'm getting shoes, right? I got two new pairs of shoes for my birthday, and
nice.
Which was last week, and
yes, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Did we wish you a happy birthday on the podcast? I know I made that ridiculous photo.
We didn't talk about it, even though it was my birthday, the day before my birthday we recorded, but we didn't talk about it.
Dude, I'm always so out of sorts when we start recording this podcast that like I'm just shocked that I could get it together on my end to be a part of this.
Yeah. But I got new shoes, and it made me like kind of think about like, what pair of shoes did you always want as a kid and you could never have?
Oh, that's easy.
What's the pair of shoes for you? For me, I know what mine is.
It was the Back to the Future self-lace-up high tops.
Oh, well, I mean, those were from a movie, though. I mean, they're real now.
You said what was the one shoe that you wanted that you couldn't have. That was it, dude.
Okay.
You know, or magnetic boots. Like that would be the other one. Like, you know, I didn't realize you had to be like real shoes.
Yeah. In reality, the shoe that you always coveted as a kid, that you were like, dude, I want that shoe, and I can never have it.
It was easy, and the funny part is I have the shoe now. At least I have a low top version of it, but it was the original Air Jordans. I mean, like we're in Chicago, Michael Jordan, like everybody wanted a pair of the red and black Jordans. So
yeah. No, I
think my brother has like 50 pairs of those right now.
Well, yeah, and all different versions probably because he's probably recreated.
Dude, he's made his own from scratch. I mean,
yes, dude.
I have a pair of low top Boba Fett Jordans that he made me. I mean, like, how dope is that, dude?
Dude, that's so sick.
I don't even like to take them out of the box because I'm so afraid I'll fuck them up.
I was going to ask you.
I'd be heartbroken.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you've worn those because that's
I wore them once.
special.
I wore them trick or treating because I was in the Boba Fett costume.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
Maybe I did. I don't remember. That was. Yeah, I was.
That was last. That was like
for a lot of that
5 months ago.
Whatever Halloween was, yeah, I was blasted those. So I don't even remember if I was wearing them or not. To be honest with you, I think I wore them at one point, but they're just really cool. So what'd you get? What shoes you get? Like,
I'm getting 2 pairs of Vans. The low top old skater version, like the ones with the white stripe going across the. I've always been a Vans and Converse guy. I wore Converse, low top Converse, like all through high school, and then when I was a kid, I wore Vans like my whole childhood because that's what my dad would buy us. But I always wanted, which was I just thought they were just the coolest thing, and I know it's silly to think about now, but I just thought they were so cool. I always wanted them. Was the Reebok, the basketball shoes with the pumps, with the basketball pump, like
I remember the pumps, dude. Dude,
I used to think those were so cool. Like all the kids in my school were like rocking them, and like Nikes were not even an option in my house. Like I didn't even think about Nikes because I don't know. My parents would like. I asked for Nikes like 4 times when I was growing up, and my dad was just like, "Nope, too expensive. Not even. Don't even like think about those."
I probably would have got Heelys if I was. I think I'm too old to have. Like I think Heelys came out too late for me.
I was gonna say
didn't, but Heelys did.
No, I was gonna say Heelys were definitely way past us. You know what I mean? Like we were already adults when those things came out. But I would have loved those too, man. My son keeps asking me for a pair, and I just haven't pulled the trigger on them yet because I don't want to have to chase him around.
See, he's like, "Dad, watch me Heely down the stairs." Like, idiot. I mean, I don't know. I mean, our son's the same age. Like, if Bubs asked me for a pair of Heelys, it would be hard for me to take him seriously. So
no, it's.
And I know my mom listens to this podcast right now, so I guarantee you she's gonna buy him some Heelys now just to throw it in my face.
Oh, he's definitely getting a pair. So is Ellie.
Yeah, well, they gotta both have them. I mean, my daughter would probably like be doing tricks in like 5 seconds, but my son would be like, well, I'm afraid to use the wheel part of the shoe or something like that.
I'd be worried
around your one of those, Bubs. Like, come on, man.
I'd be worried about your house, around your house. You have so many staircases around your house. I'd be so worried that somebody's going to go rolling right down the stairs.
My house is like a skate park already. I mean, there's not a level floor in my house. Like, there's no flat parts of my house. Like my Jackie and I talk about all the time is like walking around our house is kind of like walking around a cruise ship. It's just always moving. You just always feel like you're moving.
That's so funny. So yeah, those Reebok
when
pumps,
you get them,
dude. What'd you say?
Wait, so you got the pumps, or you got 2 pairs?
No. I was just saying, as a kid, I always thought those were the coolest, and I never could get them. My parents were always saying they were because they were pretty expensive as well. You know what I mean?
You remember the athlete that was promoting those in the ads?
Oh, geez.
This is an obvious one that you should for sure know.
Who was the Reebok
Shaq.
guy back then?
It was Shaq.
Oh, that's right. You're right. It was Shaq. That's right. I do remember that.
By the way, I saw a reel with him in it where, like, everyone was doing the drop thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
Where he tried to do the drop thing, but his knees are so bad he fell on the floor.
Dude, that must be so. God, being that big, man, must suck, dude. That must suck so bad. Like, it must be. I mean, yeah, great. It was, his life was awesome. He made a lot of money and he played basketball, and that's great. But I guarantee you, outside of that, you ask him if he enjoys being the size he is. I bet he says no. I bet you anything. Because
I mean, he was doing like Ben Gay ads like the year after he retired. So like he's got to be in some pain.
dude, it's just the world is not made for somebody who's 7'2", 380 or whatever size he was. You know what I mean? The world is not made for you. You know what I mean? It's gotta be so frustrating. You know?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. But,
yeah, it's got to be tough.
But you know, oh God, I got to tell you, you mentioned how big he is. I had I was surprised by the size of a person this week. I don't know if the right way to frame this is, but basically, I was off put this week. Yeah, dude. Oh my God. So my daughter, a new family moved in on our block, you know, and they've got, it's funny. Like my block is very gossipy, so I don't even care about like what's going on because my neighbor, she loves to know all the info and she'll fill me in on everything. So like I got one source for all of my block related news.
You just got to go to her.
She's my block Reddit. So, so she had told me that yeah, she's block Reddit. She would have her own subreddit on just the happenings of our block. But so
the Oak Park subreddit.
Yeah, no, it's the Scoville, subreddit. She would get really. But anyways, so a new family moved in, and she said, "Oh yeah, they got 4 kids, and they're from Houston, and whatever." So, but because everyone's always curious, like, will new kids move into the block that are of the same or similar age as your kids?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
So the word on the street was that they had like 3 high school kids and then a 3rd grader. And I was like, okay, 3rd grade, like, that could work.
It's a little older than your kids, but it works.
I mean, we got a 2nd grader and we got a kindergartner. So
yeah, exactly.
Bubs doesn't hang out. He only hangs out with one person his age, so it's fine. But anyways, so Ellie, was like, she met the girl who is a 3rd grader. And she's like, oh yeah, she's like, I really like this girl, Dad. And I was like, oh yeah, what do you like about her? And the first time she said, well, I like her because she's really weird, which in our house that's a huge plus. And then like we my kids will tell you we're in the weird house. And then so she hung out with her again, and then she's like, I really like her because she's really funny. And I'm like, this is the kind of girl you need to be hanging out with, Ellie. So I like what you're saying. So I told her, like, she was over at her house playing, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go pick her up. And this is, I guess, like spring break week. So like the kids are all around. I've met the middle 2 daughters, but
you guys already had spring break?
Well, no. So, I can explain. So, so I go to pick her up, and like by some miracle, I said, "Be ready at 5." Right?
Yeah.
And she was like at the door pretty much at 5:00. And she's there, and her friend is there, and like I start talking to him, and yada yada, and like out from behind the door, like first of all, they have this the biggest yellow lab I've ever seen in my entire life, right? Like, this lab is bigger than Elvis, right?
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, this lab by at least 30 pounds and maybe a couple inches. The dog is humongous.
Oh my God!
So yeah, so I'm sitting there though, and I'm talking to her, and out from behind her walks a dude who is like maybe, and I like, keep in mind, I'm on the sidewalk and he's like on the porch,
Yeah.
So like he's already looking down on me, but he was like 6'3" maybe, and like 250 pounds, but he was young. He was their oldest kid, and I was just like, whoa, like your brother. I didn't say anything, but I'm like, in my head, I'm like, holy shit, this dude is humongous. But he was young, and I was like, and you look at him, I'm like, maybe he's like 18, 20 years old kind of thing. Like, he had like facial hair and shit, and like, so like I'm looking at him, and he's like, hi, sir, how are you doing? And it was really weird for somebody that big to be calling me sir, right? And I'm like, because in my head, I'm like still 20 years old. So like, he's like, hello, sir. And he's like talking to me, but I couldn't really hear him because in my head, I'm like, holy shit, this dude is big, right?
Your inner monologue is taking over.
Yeah. In my inner, like, he's talking to me, and my brain's like, how much you think he could bench press? Like, does he play football? Like, like, you don't want to, like, and in my head, I was like, like my mind just drifts, right? So he's talking to me, and I'm like thinking to myself, like, man, like her older brother, like if anyone ever fucked with her, like that would be really bad news for them. And I was like, if they fucked with her in like third grade, he could probably beat up the entire third grade, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like if he showed up at school,
kindergarten cop.
yeah, and he was like, "Who fucked with my sister?" He could just start knocking out third graders, and he probably wouldn't be tired. By the time he was done, he's like, "Okay, where's the fourth grade at? I just need to prove a point now." You know, like,
I mean,
the dude was he looked like he played football, but so like the next day I was on the corner, and he was like, it was really weird because he's like, yeah, the one thing I did hear him say was that he was home from boarding school, so he's like, I gotta go back to boarding school. And I was like, do you mean like athlete school? I don't know what it is. But I finally met his mom and I was talking to her. The dude is 16 years old and he's a junior in high school. And I'm like, holy ballsack. Like I was still growing in college. Like this dude is like a big guy. And I was like, God damn. And I saw the dad. He's not that big either. I'm like, I don't know. Like they probably stole this baby at birth or something, man. Because the other people I've seen in the family so far are nowhere the size of this guy. And like my perception could be off. He could be, 6 feet tall, but from where I was standing, I was just physically intimidated. It was like meeting Jack Reacher. It's like, it's like, oh shit. Like,
well, it's like you hear about like stories about like Bo Jackson. Like you hear about like stories about him in like high school and stuff like that, where people like were like. There's a story about this coach who went to go to Bo Jackson's high school to go look at some other athletes, and he's working out on the field, like with the sporting equipment and stuff, and the coach is like, "Who's the college player that's working out here on the weekend?" And the coaches are like, "No, that's Bo. He's a junior in high school. You know what I mean?" And he was just like, like the biggest guy you've ever seen, they said, you know what I mean, at that age. Some guys are just built that way, man. Some guys just come out giants.
I mean, Bubs is
crazy.
Bubs is big. Well, I remember you showed me that video of Frankie next to all the other kids in his class, and Frankie's like 6 inches taller than everyone else around.
Yeah, Frankie's he's built that way, man. I just look forward to seeing how big he gets. You know what I mean? At this point, it's just like a waiting game. You know what I mean? Like I almost want to like start taking bets on the side. You know what I mean? Like, what's the over under? He gets to 6'4", 230 by high school. You know what I mean? What's the over under?
It's gonna be expensive to feed him, dude.
It already is, dude. The kid eats nonstop. It's literally like he finishes something, and within 5 minutes, he's like, "Dad, I'm hungry again." You know what I mean? And it's just like,
so is Penny like that too?
Penny, no. I mean, she's obviously not built the same by any means. She's tall and skinny, but she eats, but not like him. He eats like it reminds me of my brother. My brother was a big kid, and my brother, like in high school, was eating like, I remember my dad packing like 4 sandwiches and like fucking 3 apples and shit like that. Were like for my brother's lunch. You know what I mean? Like just stupid.
That's aggressive.
Dude, it is, and I'm not looking. It's got to be. I'm not looking forward to it.
It's a boy's thing. It has to be a boy thing because, like Bubs, like that kid, it can eat more than I eat. I've seen Bubs try to put down a large pizza by himself, and he got through 3/4 of it, and he said, "I can still keep going, Dad." And I was like, I mean, he has like man-sized poops as it is. Like you go in his toilet, it's like a fucking Pringles can in there. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in here?
He's a big kid too. I mean, he's a big kid.
Yeah,
he's not for his age, right? He's a good sized kid, right?
Yeah, which makes no sense to me because like I didn't like when I was a this is gonna blow you away, dude. When I was a freshman in high school, I was 5 feet tall. When I my first day of freshman year, and I was the second to the shortest kid in my entire grade. There was one kid that was like an inch shorter than me, and I was like, thank God. And I thought it'd be a good idea to play football, which it was not good.
Did you play football in high school?
Oh, dude, only freshman year. And dude, we had an A team and a B team, and I was riding the bench on the B team. And I only got to go into 2 games in for like 2 plays. And I was happy with that. Like, cause I hated. I was a defensive tackle. So
all right.
yeah,
I can see that about
basically,
you.
they were like, "Don't let anyone get past you if you can, and just try to kill the quarterback if nobody has the football." And I'm like, okay, like that's fine. I mean, look, I was small, but like I was still scrappy because I had a younger brother and we fought constantly. So like I was used to like fighting with kids, you know.
Yeah. Dude, I'd
So
love to see you play football. That would be fucking amazing.
there was some hilarious. I should see if I could find it. My dad used to come to the games with his brother, and they would do commentary for the entire game, like a comedic version of like Sunday football announcing.
Up, dude. You have to find that.
Hilarious. Like and my dad knew like all the players' names and stuff, and like
Yes.
it was like I can't even remember like the shit he was saying, but like I'm sure he was like fucking smoking weed under the bleachers with my uncle, and then they come out and watch the game and just like have the funniest running commentary. I gotta find these videos, man. Like they are really it is prime material.
Dude,
So.
that must be epic, dude. I cannot wait to hear that.
But I
dude.
gotta you're not gonna hear it for a while because if I could even find the tapes, right? We got nothing to play them on, and then I gotta take them somewhere where they could convert them to digital. So
yeah. But that's you can do that. There's people all over the place doing that these days.
It's probably worthwhile investment of my time. I mean, I waste my time on so much other bullshit. So
yeah, no, that would be great, man. It'd be great to play on the podcast. Are you kidding me? It'd be great content.
Playing audio on here, I don't know how to do that.
We could do it. I can figure it out. Here's something else I wanted to talk to you about this week real quick. Do your kids, what kind of music do your kids listen to? And what are you guys listening to? What are you and Jackie listening to in the house?
Jackie likes she generally leans towards like hip hop and R&B.
Okay.
Like if we're eating dinner, she'll put on like a R&B or whatever.
Okay.
I listen to blues and hip hop primarily. I'll slip some rock, like old school rock in there occasionally.
Yeah.
Ellie likes what probably every girl her age likes. Just like music that's painful to my ears. It's like a kid version of pop music that talks about growing up and the struggles of being a preteen or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Bubs is the most like he is so artistically inclined that like music speaks to him. Like he'll regularly tell me like play this song or play that or whatever. And when like I'll be playing a video game, like I just got the Guardians of the Galaxy video game and it has really good music in it.
Yeah, the soundtrack was amazing.
Yeah,
for that game or for that movie. I mean,
Bubs gravitates towards old school rock and roll. That like in like 80s rock music. Like that's like the stuff that really gets him moving. So
that's awesome. I love to hear that. Our kids are. I mean, we do listen to a lot of music in our house as well. I'm very eclectic. I listen to freaking everything. You know what I mean? From hip hop to country to rock to I'm cooking in the kitchen. I'm listening to Cuban music. You know what I mean? So like my kids are always like listening to everything. And that was the point. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Like, are there stuff that you listen to? Like when you're listening to your hip hop and stuff like that, are you listening to stuff that's clean?
No.
Or are you listening to his stuff that has cursing and stuff that's in it that's not really kid friendly?
No, I like the only stuff that I actually filter the kids on are television and video stuff.
Okay.
Because that is blown up in my face multiple times. So I have to. It's not because I didn't want to. It's because I have to. But music-wise, no. And like I'll just listen to whatever, and the kids will like they'll occasionally say like, "Oh, Dad, he said a bad word," and I'm like, "Yeah, he did," and then they'll be like, "Why do you say that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Some people think they need to say bad words to prove their fucking point. So I don't know what the fuck to tell you." And they're just like, okay.
Yeah, I don't sense like, when I grew up, because I grew up listening to like, whatever my parents listened to, you know what I mean? That's how kind of you grow up as a kid, right? You kind of get exposed to what your parents listen to, and then you eventually start to find your own music and sound and stuff that you're into. But
Oh yeah.
I don't do the whole censoring of our kids, as far as what we listen to. Like whatever I'm listening to, that's what they're listening to. You know what I mean? Like if I'm listening to, so. But the funny thing happened because Penny's now at the age where I put Spotify on her iPad because she loves music. You know what I mean? She is like, of the two, Frankie's probably going to be a little more musically inclined than she is. His tone and pitch is like pretty spot on when he sings and everything, and he's really into like playing the piano and playing on my drums and stuff like that. He's learning to play, and he sits down and plays, like, starts to bang out little things that he's learned, like Mary Had a Little Lamb and stuff like that. But the other day, Penny, I walk into her room and she's listening to this. There's this band that I got turned on to recently, and they're called Wet Leg. That's the name of the band.
I love band names.
They're from England, right? And so they're like that
makes sense.
Yeah, there's two girl singers, and then they have like a group of guys playing instruments, and I think one of the girls plays guitar. But I walk into Penny's room the other morning, and she's got Spotify on, and she's got the lyrics of the songs, because that's how she learns the song, the words. She'll click on the lyric button, and all the words are there right there for her, and she's singing along.
Oh yeah.
And she goes, I hear her listening to this song, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I love this song. It's great. Don't think anything of it. And then at the end of the day, I go to pick her up from school, and we're driving home, and she goes, Dad, you know that song I was listening to this morning? And I was like, yeah, it's a great song. And she's like, I was reading the lyrics, and I was really, enjoying it. But then I got to a part where I was kind of confused about what it said. It says, the lyric of the song says, is your muffin buttered? Would you like us to assign somebody to butter your muffin?
Please tell me you told her it was diner related. Like, they just really love eating out at diners, sweetheart.
She looks at me and goes, "Why would you put butter on a muffin, Dad?" I'm like, "No, people eat butter. People eat muffins with butter." You know what I mean? Like, it's something they do. You know what I mean?
See, this is part of the reason why kids grow up thinking their parents are idiots, right? It's because she'll talk to her friend later, and they'll be like, "No, you know what that really means," and you'll be like, "My dad's a fucking idiot. He thinks they're really buttering their muffins," and like.
So I tell Debbie this, and she was like, "What? What is that even like?" I don't even think Debbie understood the slang, what it meant. You know what I mean? I had to like explain it to her. But dude, I was just dying, man. I was trying to not to laugh so hard as I'm driving home. You know what I mean? And it was just like such a random, like that's the one part of the song that she keyed in on. You know what I mean? Like the rest of the song, she didn't care about, but that one line, and I think it's just because she didn't understand what it meant. But dude, it was just so fucking funny, man.
So it's funny that you mentioned that, right? Because so one song that my kids are really into is that A B C D E F U song, right? And your mama and your cousins and your whatever,
yeah,
right?
Yes, totally.
So they were over at my parents' house, and they were like asked my mom to play that song, and my mom listened to it, and she was like, "Holy crap!" She like calls me, and she's like, "Do you know they're listening to this?" Or she texts me, "Do you know they're listening to this stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they don't get it." I'm like, "And if they do, I don't care. Either way, it's fine with me." Yeah. And but she was like, "Whoa!" And it reminded me, so like when you're growing up and your parents freak out about the song music you're listening to, right?
Oh yeah.
The one song that got my mom when I was growing up was OPP, right?
Oh yes, dude.
So like OPP, how do you explain it? I take it from the whole thing, right? So so she's like, I heard her singing it one day, right? Because she was trying to she's always been trying to relate to what we're up to, so we could still have a close connection. And it's like I heard her singing it, and I was like, "Mom, do you know what that song's about?" And she's like, I think it's about like Ocean Pacific. You remember that brand, Ocean Pacific?
yeah, OP.
Yeah. And I was like, no. I'm like, no, that's not it, man. She's like, what is it? I said, it's other people's privates. And she was like, "Whoa! I've been singing that thing and like everywhere. Like, like, what are you talking about?" I'm like, "Sorry, Ma." and by privates, I'm dumbing it down for you. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That word works for everybody. Like, I really got it good.
So yeah, it's just so funny, dude. Like, it's funny to think about like kids and how they don't understand some things yet. You know what I mean? But they're singing along to the songs. You know what I mean? So I just get a kick out of that, man. It's just so funny. At some point, like you said, she's gonna grow up and realize what that song means. Hopefully, not for a long, long time, but at some point, she's going to. And
I mean, I want to be a cool parent, but I know I'm not.
Oh no!
I'm the weird. Look, I told you I've done surveys with my kids to see opinions of me versus other parents. I'm the weird one, so I'm gonna live with that. So
I still like to think that my kids think I'm cool. You know what I mean?
They don't.
You know,
I mean, your Instagram followers don't think you're cool. Why would your kids think you're cool?
That's true. That's very true.
Kidding. Obviously, I've seen you with them. They idolize you, kind of.
Yeah,
I'm using that word loosely.
Yeah, we're up against it right now, man. So,
well, I'm in a chatty mood. So let's cut this off and then do an off cut.
All right. So before we do that, though, we should shout out some people.
Yeah. So okay, here we go. Thank you to our patrons, Kyle Foot for woodworking. It's a foot in the mouth kind of a saying.
What's up, Kyle?
The Wooden Mustache, Matthew Gerard.
Yes.
Gerard. Lee from Regal Street. Still, God, man, that guy is every week I could shout him out. His content's amazing.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yep. Big Mike Hole from Broken Lead Woodworks. He is another one who's been killing it on the content. I love it. Yeah. He's always posted shit, and I'm like, oh, that's a great video. He's like, thanks. I didn't think so. I completely winged it and didn't even think that would work. He's like, I was like, you had some videos blow up, and he was like, only the ones with saws in them. I'm like, okay, bro. All right, so Dave Wirt, my man Dave,
Yo, Dave,
and from Rustic Joy, and my mom is the last one.
All right, well, dude,
you can follow her and her mosaic art at Elise Gelman. So
there you go. She's super talented. Go check her out, guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting us.
Oh, wait, shout outs, right? We got to do shout outs too, right? Is that the last part?
I was just going to say, thanks for supporting us on Patreon. And if you want to support us on Patreon, there's a link in the description of this video or any of the videos on our page. So go check that link out. And we really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Also, if you guys wouldn't mind, anybody who's listening to this podcast, go ahead and give us a 5-star review on Apple, and also a 5-star review on Spotify or anywhere you can give us a review. We'd really appreciate
thumbs up on YouTube.
Yeah, any positive reviews we'd really appreciate. And on Apple, if you want to go ahead and read or write us a review, we will then read it right here live on our podcast. And I actually wanted to do that real quick because
while you're looking it up, I'll let people know that if you have anything less than 5 stars, like, keep that shit to yourself. Okay.
Dude, we have 4 reviews right now. Yeah, keep that.
We're blowing up, bro. Pretty soon we'll have 5. I guarantee it.
So we already read the first review that was from my brother-in-law about Ben and the other person are so natural and fun. But we also had we had a 5-star review come in from Skimmy310. The two guys talking go together like Franks and Beans. It's a real good time just listening to the stories. Check them out. So thanks a lot, Skimmy310. We had another 5-star review come in from
Skinny, is that really Bryce?
It might be. Not Skinny. Skimmy.
Who followed us at Skinny?
Another great 5-star review from our friend 530 Dangling. Love this podcast. So funny. I almost crashed my car with the Disneyland boat sinking story. And then our last 5-star review comes from our friend Ray Rossiter. This is amazing. All the way from the intro to the episodes to the various tangents both Ben and Luke go down. must listen, a good laugh. So, dude, thank you so much,
Ray.
guys. Those are great reviews. We really appreciate it. And if you guys go ahead and leave us a 5-star review on Apple, we will definitely shout you guys out and read it out here live. So feel free to do that. That would be great. Spotify, 5-star reviews, that would be great. Also, if you guys could share our podcast, that would be awesome. Share it amongst all your friends and family and everybody out there. Just shout it out to strangers on the street. That'd be great.
You're working for us now. Do our bidding. Do the shit we ask you to. We desperately
appreciate you.
Please help us. Yeah, but thank you.
No,
guys.
anyways.
You guys are great people. And we love hearing the feedback. It's really exciting.
Yeah, really much. We really much enjoy it. So thank you so much. I got one shout out this week, and it's I said before, it's John, our man John over at Wix Woodworks out of Long Beach. He's the best. Dude, his videos are just always so fucking funny, and I love it when he gets his kid involved, the Pocket Hole Kid. Like I said, this week he put out something about trolling versus keep scrolling, stop trolling, and I thought that was great, something to think about and talk about. And so, John, thank you so much. I don't know if he listens to this podcast, but hopefully he won't hear this.
If he wants to, he can. I mean, it's available everywhere.
Who you shutting out?
All right, so this week I have two. All right, I just want to make sure I get it. Okay. Matt Moore Designs. Dude, that guy Matt Moore, his content, like the stuff that he makes is so nice. He does a lot of like kitchen and built-in remodels and stuff, and it's so nice that it almost it's like too nice. So it's like you see it and it's like, yeah, this is just some professional or whatever. But that's what he is. He's a real pro, and he's a really nice guy. And I always call him CFM because he's the Canadian Florida man. So what up, Matt Moore? I'm positive he doesn't even know we have a podcast, but I'll let him know.
Yeah.
And then one other account, Crazy Deb. I'd like to give a shout out to your wife.
She'd appreciate it. It's so funny. She was our first guest on the podcast, and we made no mention of it whatsoever on the. She's like. Not at all. She came on our podcast at the very end, like 3 or 4 episodes ago, and I totally, in the description, didn't even mention her, didn't even talk about her. I'm the fucking worst. And
she's our biggest supporter, and you neglect her constantly. So that's why I'm giving a shout out to Deb this week. Deb, you're the best.
Thanks for keeping
everything you do. Yeah, thanks for keeping Ben, alive.
Yeah. That's for sure. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. You guys are the best, dude. Go out and check us out on YouTube and all our socials, and support us by joining Patreon. And we love you guys, and we're gonna keep doing this. So stick around.
Wait, which outro do I go with? The new one or the old one?
I think the new one.
Take it away, Tim. Bring us home, Timbo.
I love how his post this week was he tagged us. He's like, even better that because of the offcuts. He's like, it's from beginning to end, even better because it's shorter now.
I really like you guys, but not an hour's worth. Like 20 minutes would be great. Thanks.
No, it's what it is there's less. It's still the intro is the same and the outro is the same. So his parts are the same. It's just ours is shorter. So he's like, it's better. There's more of me, less of them.
Perfect. So, Tim, get to our new intro, bro. Get on that.
All right. Get on that.
All right, thanks,
later, guys.
This has been a ConMan Creative production. Text us anytime at 908 768 2664 or send us a message on our Instagram, thejointery podcast. You can find Ben at Conderosa Creations or Luke at Luke in the Garage, everywhere that social media is sold. That's garage, not garage. Say it properly.